So welcome. The idea of RTR, Relational Trauma Repair, and any model that works with trauma is that it feel easy, that it feel fun, that it feel engaging, that it feel welcoming. Why? Because trauma causes people to do this, to brace up. And if we talk about, we're doing our trauma work now, over here, we're doing our trauma work now, it will cause people to brace up, right? So we want people to feel welcomed, we want them to feel safe, and we want them to feel like they can enter as themselves. The nervous system braces up in times of threat. Why don't we start with a little sculpture so I can teach you a little about trauma? Who could play now this isn't doing personal work, but who could play a father? Who could play a mother? Just stand up, jump into the center, volunteer. Your mom? Okay, your dad? We need, let's say we need 2 kids. Who could play 2 kids? Who can go on their knees? Can you go on your knees?
Sure.
Okay, great. What, can you go on your knees?
Surely.
Okay, so let's put the 4 of you. How about the kids on their knees here? And
Facing you that way?
sort of looking into the family. We'll make this a 2-child family for now. And what I want to illustrate is why childhood trauma has such tenacity in the system. The reason being, these are the parents, right? They pay the bills, they get the house, they set up your lives, they feed you, they clothe you, they everything. They are in charge of your life as a child. You start out this journey of childhood completely helpless. Little babies on their back, like little turtles on their back. 100% dependent on these people to survive. As you grow and learn to talk and so on, you start with a language that we don't talk about enough. Your initial language is sign language. Your initial language is grunting, groaning, crying, screeching, laughing, engaging. Everything about a child engaging needs a response from the parent, from the caregiver, so that you know you're not strangers in a strange land and you are nowhere. When that response is there, the child lights up, the child is validated, the child knows they are there. For the small child, this is the world, the entire world. So who these people are and how they interact with you is how you see yourselves and the meaning you make up about yourself and people and relationships. Children are born with unusually a fully, big amygdala. Babies can have a complete startle response, which you see, right? Anyone who's had a child knows that if they're in your arms and they hear a loud sound, they're going like this, right? They're startling. And they have, what they don't have is a developed prefrontal cortex, and the rest of their brain, the hippocampus and so forth, is small. So they have a huge startle response, but no way to manage that or understand what's happening. They are 100% developed on these 2 people. You come as babies with partial neurological wiring. You do the rest of your wiring outside of the womb. This rocking that parents do naturally, when you find yourself rocking a bag in the grocery store, what parent hasn't done that? Mm-hmm. That's what a child needs to woo them back into a state of calm. If they don't get that, they don't develop the neurological wiring to hold calm. If you wonder why people who grow up in chaotic homes are dysregulated, it is because we all, it's not black and white, right? We learned regulation, and we learn dysregulation from our parents, because most people will pick up their child, but many people will not. If there's addiction in the home, the way you get picked up changes dramatically from day to day. And the way you get cared for, or passed over, or cared too much for, or compensated for lack of caring yesterday. All of that kind of emotional chaos becomes a part of the dysregulation of the child's system. And if they have dysregulated parents, they ingest that too. So in an ideal world, rocking, cooing, meeting, seeing, attaching. In a less than ideal world, more distance. In a difficult world, closeness, then distance, and care, and then no care, disorganized attachment. Your nervous system is built like this. May I touch you?
Sure.
If you're my baby, you're regulating through me, right? And you're soothing through me. So if you have an owie or a hurt or a stomach or an anything, what you need is touch and holding to come back. Just that touch, the oxytocin release, the bonding, the love, the care, the feeling that you're not alone in this, the being seen, being mirrored. Oh, you know. And then you learned who you are in those interactions. You sense who you are in those interactions. If you don't get that, it's a different story. So cognitive distortions and attachment dynamics are, in my mind, two of the main ways we pass on dysfunction through the generations. If you have distorted ways of seeing yourself, the world, and family, I never get it right. Family is not to be trusted. People are dangerous. Closeness is not for me. And you become convinced they become your life script. It's hard to come to adulthood and form intimate relationships. We do fine if we don't have to have relationships. I mean, if the relationships can be very structured, distant even, so forth. But once we need to get close, that's when the nervous system braces for danger again. This is what we want to make conscious through the work we do as therapists. And now you know why the models we use need to feel welcoming and safe. And now you know why I started Relational Trauma Repair. Because I had to look for new ways in an addiction treatment center to work quickly, to work efficiently, to work with the group. And can we sit down for 1 minute? I'm going to tell you the story of how it started. Any questions about this? It's clear, okay. The RTR started with floor checks. The reason that I'm a psychodramatist. I fell in love with psychodrama in my 30s. I was 30 years old when I started. And it changed my life. I became devoted to psychodrama. I studied everything I could possibly study, got every certificate available, a certification. But as I was doing, the addictions field is home base for me because I'm a child of an alcoholic. And have spent a life trying to understand that and the damage it did to all of us. I have training groups, right? In the 80s, I had a particularly wonderful trainee come into group ready to quit the profession because in New York State, the budgets were cut and he was being given groups of 30 to 35 and told to do therapy with them. He was desperate. He knew, and the best you can do from my experience is psychodrama, have that in the center, and everybody in a good psychodrama group is participating. But it wasn't going to be good enough in this instant and in so many instances, because it takes a lot of training to do psychodrama safely and well. So I wanted to come up with an alternative plan. And, you know, this is after I would thought, my God, what do you do with this? I don't know that there's a plan. J.L. Moreno created psychodrama sociometry group psychotherapy in turn of the century Vienna. He is known as the father of group therapy. He created what we know today as group therapy. Sociometrics, psychodrama, you know, is the role-playing method, right? Sociometry is really the mapping method. It's a social atom, draw on a piece of paper, and then we'll put it into action as a sculpture. Who was in your family of origin or any network? Where are they in vis-a-vis you? Are they tall? Are they short? Are they, you know, we'll get into doing that also. But I thought we're going to have to lean into sociometry for a solution to this problem of huge groups, because it's not possible to do, otherwise you end up doing one-to-one therapy in groups, and that's not group therapy. It just leaves most of the group out. So I came the next session with feelings scrawled over pieces of paper, and I put them around the floor. And I thought, no psychodramatist is going to agree with me, so I didn't tell them about it. But I asked my group to just walk over to it. Do you remember feeling checks? Happy, sad? Well, I had done one too many feeling checks, and I thought, what if we put them into action so people can't lie so easily? You know, half the group tells you how they're feeling, half the group is not telling you how they're feeling. I invited people to stand near a feeling, say why they chose it, cluster if the group was really large. They could do that part of the process with small groupings. Say there are 5 of you standing around anger, 4 of you standing around content, or we just say share with each other. And then what you're doing is Moreno's saying, in a group, each person becomes a therapeutic agent of the other. And that has always been a beautiful thing to me. I was a Montessori teacher in my 20s, and Montessori worked with a prepared environment. She thought the role of the teacher should be less, and the engagement should come with the children and the environment. I'm a group therapist, so I decided to use feelings all over the floor as my prepared environment. And I wanted to make my role less. And then I used Moreno's adage to connect people with each other. Because I saw so clearly, if we're going to be able to help people, they're going to have to heal each other. And I have to come up with a way that they can find each other to heal each other. So this took care of the fact that people might be undertrained. It took care of the fact that there might be people in group who are even ahead of the therapists they have occasionally. And they will be better off connecting with each other and not relying on a therapist. You know, when a therapist is put on the spot, we want to know the answers, right? We don't know the answers. And it's hard to keep saying, I don't really know the answers. I'm in this position, so this takes care of that question too for therapists. So therapists feel much more confident doing this model because you're learning from each other, and you should be learning from each other. The other concept I wove into this was Montessori's theory of sensitive periods. The children go through sensitive periods for learning math, science, language, that kind of thing, and that you should teach them during their sensitive period. I think recovery and treatment center work is a sensitive period for learning about the self. And this floor checks allow you to learn about yourself through a process from each other. And because you're all in the same sensitive period, you all have something to give each other that I, as a therapist, may not have. I may be a therapist who's 20 years into my own recovery, and it's hard to remember how vulnerable you feel when you're a client. I always have to remind myself what it feels like to be new to this, but they don't have to remind each other because they're all there that same month. So they have something to give each other that I don't have to give them most often, I find. They are the ones who need to talk, not me, right? That's It's the children who need to talk in a school, not the teacher all the time. In recovery, one of the things you stop doing if you're traumatized is talking, you know? So the RTR and floor checks teach you to start talking to each other in structured ways that feel safe, so you can learn to open up. But it's not too threatening. I'm not looking around and going, how are you? Tell me.
My name's Dave.
So Dave,
Yes.
how's your day? You know what I mean? I mean, how's it feel when I do that?
I guess pleasant. You're just asking me.
Oh, okay, so that felt pleasant. I'm glad that something's working.
Yeah.
Sometimes people feel on the spot. Sometimes they don't, they want to just clam up. And I find it easier to help people, obviously you're not early in your recovery and you're seasoned and you run your own groups, but I find it easier to connect people mano a mano with each other. So right now, let's do a step-in circle, a spectrogram, a locogram, or let's do step-in circle, locogram, spectrogram, and then a floor check, and then we'll look at simple role plays. How does that sound for a morning's work? Okay, step-in circle. This one is for an icebreaker to break isolation. If you go on YouTube, you will find they are used in prisons. They are used, this one has a lot of legs. You can use it anywhere. In a circle, who like me? Who like me is a child of an alcoholic? Take a step into the circle. Well, there we go. I mean, it's no wonder how we end up in this field. Step out. It's somebody else. Who like me? Pick it up, anyone?
Who, like me, lost someone during their childhood?
Who, like me, was raised by somebody other than their parents?
So that's, you are then a sociometric isolate. That means you're the only one who stepped in on this question. Do you need anything right now? Does it feel okay how does it feel to be the only one in that who stepped in?
Fortunate that somebody was still there for me.
It's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Somebody else?
Who, like me, is the youngest in their family?
Very much so. Two more.
Who, like me, has lost a parent?
Who, like me, had an abusive parent?
That's a step-in circle. Just helps people start to see each other in a little bit of ice breaking. Locograms are similar. Locograms are 4 squares, imagine squares on the floor. Here's one I like for group therapists, because you run regular groups. I'm really glad to be here right now. I can take it or leave it. I wish I were anywhere but here. And then other. Other is where you write in your own thing. So now you can just, do you want to answer yourselves or pretend you're clients?
About being at this training?
Yeah. Yeah, we might be better off as clients, right?
Everyone go to
Yeah, let's pretend you're a client right now. So I'm glad to be here today, or in treatment, or in IOP, whatever. Today, I can take it or leave it. I'd rather be anywhere else. Other. Step in to the corner that best describes. Let me get it straight. You're in, I'd rather be anywhere else. And you're in, I could take it or leave it. You're glad to be here. That's great. So I'm going to start with other because I don't know what this is. So the other being a sentence about why you...
I'm grateful but afraid.
Wonderful.
I was thinking as a client, like being torn with wanting to be here and not wanting to be here, so this sort of polarization.
Yeah, similar, I'm terrified, but I know that I really don't have another choice, so, and I feel safe here, right? But the thought of getting sober is scary.
Thank you. Now I'm curious as what's going on over here. Sentence about why you're standing where you're standing. Who's ever warmed up? Nobody has to answer, by the way.
See, about being anywhere but here, it's frightening looking at myself.
Thank you.
That part.
Yeah.
Don't want to look at myself.
I noticed a bit of body involvement, again, a catch in here, and a vocal change. So may I ask you to step behind yourself? Just take a step backwards and double for what's going on the inside that you might not be saying. Just a sentence about I.
I don't know.
So may I double for you?
Sure.
I don't know what's going on in the inside of me, and therefore I feel, finish the sentence.
Awkward.
More.
Awkwarder. I don't like the spotlight on me. This is uncomfortable. Keep going.
One more sentence and then more. That's it. Phrase even.
I don't want to do this.
Thank you.
Me, I'd rather be anywhere else because I don't really have a problem. Everybody else has a problem, not me.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else from any other corridor? Just pipe up.
I could take it or leave it because some days I feel like I'm getting a wealth of knowledge and some days I feel like they're just wasting my time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I've done this before. I'm here for my family.
Thank you.
I'm here to get my wife off my back. I don't really think I'm like these people.
Thank you.
I'm here, but I'm not here.
And another sentence about how that is? What do you mean by not here?
I'm just kind of neutral. I don't know what I want, and I don't know where I'm going.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So that's a locogram, right? You get a sense of how much information you can get without it being having to work too hard. Anybody having to work too hard. Next, I want to show you and by the way, you can do different things in these quarters. You can use DBT, Wise Mind, all of those. You can use polyvagal states. You can change the questions to suit your group. This model is great for adapting to any kind of group, any kind of population, any group, any age. All you do is change what's on the floor and change your questions for the locogram, the spectrogram, and the floor checks, and make it right for your group and ask your group, what are you concerned about today? What do you want to explore today? Okay, spectrogram, this is how much, how little. This starts to break the ice, right, the locogram? I mean, I can feel the temperature rising a little bit in the group, and I can feel your eye contact shifting and your emotions connecting. Does that feel, am I reading correctly? Okay, spectrogram, that's 100% at that end, 0% at this end. I'm going to ask a few questions, and you just locate, and 50% here, locate yourself anywhere along the line that feels right for you. How comfortable are you? Should we stay as clients for this one?
Okay.
Or do you want to move? Stay as clients. Okay, how comfortable are you at this treatment center. I'm extremely comfortable, I'm extremely uncomfortable, I'm 50%, and anywhere in the middle. Just locate yourselves. And notice as you're doing that, that you make a sort of commitment when you're on your feet and locating yourselves along that you don't necessarily make if you're talking, and also you find an answer quickly. So the idea is that it be focusing, but not so focusing that you can't be yourselves, if that makes sense. There's structure, but there's freedom, which, you know, that's a curative and healing in itself for people who grow up with dysfunction, structure and freedom. Because otherwise there tends to be too much structure, too much freedom. Pipe up, speak up, whoever, popcorn style. Who's ever warmed up. Warm up is the big thing in this work.
Why we chose where we're at. On the,
Yeah, and I want to say that my little talking, because it's a training, I wouldn't do in a group. And it lowered, it made the temperature go lower again. I unwarmed you up a little with my talking. Sorry.
I chose 100% comfortable because I'm ready for change.
Interesting.
I chose 100% comfortable because I've been through so many treatments that this is actually the best one, and I'm attending it.
Thank you.
I chose 75% because I guess I feel more comfortable than I do uncomfortable. I don't really know what to expect here. I haven't done this before.
Got it.
I chose 50% in the middle in this circle. Because I don't mind like sharing what I'm feeling, but it's like uncomfortable doing it while I'm doing it.
Thank you. Did you all get that?
I put myself at 40 because I do not like sharing what I'm feeling.
Can you speak up and say that
I put
again?
myself at 40 because I do not like sharing what I'm feeling, but I know I have to.
Thank you.
I put this side because I guess I don't really see the hope in getting better. Been doing this for a long time. So that's why.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, I chose the low side because I lost everything and I have a lot of guilt and shame right now. So it's not really external discomfort, it's a lot of internal.
So that's very self-aware, thank you. Now I'm going to, let's say we're doing do you want to do an anger or a grief spectrogram? Anger, okay. How angry are you about, should we just say, having to be here? What, you give me the question. What? Okay, how much anger do you have at having to be here? Have 100% anger, 0%, 50? Okay, speak up whenever you want to.
I feel zero anger about being here because I'm grateful to have the opportunity to learn something new.
Thank you.
100% anger because I don't want to talk about my feelings. I'm not ready.
Thank you. This is how much, how little. It helps people learn to titrate feelings, to regulate.
I'm happy to be here. I'm having a good time.
Thank you. One more on this question.
I'm like 10% angry because everything seems alright so far, but I haven't had a roommate in a long time and he snores and can't sleep well.
Yeah. Hear you, thank you. So you can go on with as many questions as you like. Anger spectrogram, grief spectrogram. How comfortable are you doing experiential work spectrogram? How comfortable are you with the food here? Whatever you want to bring out of the group, create spectrograms around it. So is that clear? Mm-hmm.